You know what today is? It is Monday, which means we have our market of the moment. And I'm super happy to be back with you guys. Because, one, this is our last market of the moment of the year. We will reconvene January 5th. The next two Mondays, we will be off. But this doesn't mean that, there's nothing going on during this time because that's not necessarily the case. Okay, so I know that when I get on here and I do market of the moment, it's really just to help people stop with the fear, stop with the drama, and stop like leaning into these headlines because sometimes they are feeding you what they want you to be like and not what the reality of the market is like. Okay, hold on, I'm on TikTok. Let's see. Our property taxes going up? Property taxes are always going up in Texas. So great questions. Also, I am on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, make sure that you either DM me or comment something below and I'll answer your questions. Okay, so let's jump into the market of the moment. Yay! Okay, so the feds met, and I know a lot of people have that on their mind like, okay, what does this mean for me? Okay, so yes, they met. Yes, they cut rates, which is great. But no, your mortgage will not just magically drop overnight. So, what actually matters is how they responded. And how they responded was calm. Like, we're happy that it's calm, okay? Mortgage rates barely moved. I will say that. Like, they did come down, but it's barely. Oh, Jake. Jake wants to make his appearance, but we're not going to do that right now, babes. Thank you. Okay. Um, so what was I saying? Yeah, so mortgage rates, they did barely move, but what this is telling us is that we are entering in stability. We are going into a stable market. The Fed is done being aggressive, okay? The next phase that we are really going to have to lean into is being patient versus panicking, all right? And I feel like I get all the time people are like, well, why does that matter? Like, you want to be in a stable market, and the reason why is buyers, you can have strategy versus rushing. Sellers, you can't. You need to price and Ooh, excuse me. I'm about to eat dinner after I'm done, so I'm burping and drink. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, sellers, you need to price and position your property right versus you know chasing and like the hype, because yes, you can come out making some money, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be at the price that you want. Okay, and then investors, you can plan instead of guessing, which I think is beautiful because I'm an investor and I definitely want to invest, if not next year, the year after. The last 2 years of a down market has kicked my butt, so I sat out this year. I didn't do anything. I did some other kind of investing. And then next year, I think I'm gonna buy land. I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna buy a property. So you got to figure out what makes sense for you. Not should I wait? Okay. What makes sense for you? Ask that question. And as we are like entering into the last 2 weeks of the year, this is the perfect time to reflect. And if you're anything like me, you love Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins was talking about like the best way to like reflect on your year is to take your phone out and go through your camera roll, because it's so easy to overlook or kind of pass by all the blessings that God has already given you this year. And then you go into the next year trying to 10x something where you're like, dude, you've already done a ton this year. Like, make where you started, well, where you finished this year, your starting point of next year. Stop trying to, like, I don't know, do 5 years worth of work in 1 year. Also, you're not going to do all that work. Let's be honest. Life always gets in the way, and we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5 years. So my suggestion is take some time, reflect, go through all your pictures and your camera roll, see what you've done this year. Be proud of that, and prepare for 2026. So don't ask if you should be waiting, asking what makes sense for you. So next year, it makes sense for me to buy land. Doesn't make sense for me to buy another house. I'm going to build on that land. It won't be next year, but it'll be maybe the year afterwards. Okay? And one more thing, too. NAR's NAR data will be coming out December 19th. So I will be giving you guys a breakdown of that. If you are not on my newsletter or my weekly emails and you want to be, so you can stay abreast on what's going on in the Dallas Fort Worth market, comment below me so that I can get your information, add you to my network so that you can get all that information. Yes, I get on here and I do my best to digest what's going on in the market, tell you guys a snippet, but in that newsletter, I do go a little bit deeper. I give you some suggestions. I tell you what's coming so that you can stay in the loop and ahead. So as we are, going through our phones, as we're reflecting, and we're also preparing for the goals of 2026, enjoy the holidays, okay? Also, just know that I will be updating you. It won't be market updates, but you'll still be getting, I'll post every single day still. Just know that I want to make sure that you're informed versus anxious. I want you to stay grounded versus reactive, okay? And remember that in any market, there's opportunity, all right? Are you willing to take that opportunity? And my favorite saying, because leaders are repeaters, when people are being greedy, you be cautious. And when people are being cautious, you be greedy. You let me know what you think people are doing right now and what you should be doing, okay? All right, guys, I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it. I will see you January 5th. We will regroup and we are going to walk in 2026 clear and having clarity and knowing exactly what we need to do to make 2026 one of the best years yet. All right? I love you guys. Have a great holiday. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay, let me see. Oh, I have a couple comments. Hold on, let's see. I've already closed off TikTok. Okay, if you had first off, this comment is so inappropriate. Let's not say that again. Hey, Kira, I was wondering, would you... okay, comments are not even asking anything about real estate today. They're asking about love life. I am not interested in people asking me out publicly. If you see me in public, come up and speak to me, and maybe, if we align, maybe. But anywho, guys, love y'all. Have a great holiday. Enjoy your family. Love on the people who love on you. Oopsies.